How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Dave in the building, aka Mojo's.
And this is Desi Dez.
And this is TwistedYounginz. We in the building today. We have a special guest with us today. Sir, let the people know who you are.
My name is Adam, or you could reach me at the Goblin Mob. Goblin Mob.
Absolutely, sir.
You said your name is what?
Goblin Mob.
Adam Goblin Mob.
From Goblin Mob. What is that?
I have a toy company.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna come off wrong, but it's adult toy company. It's for older people.
Okay.
I sell if you know pop vinyls.
Mm-hmm.
I make vinyl toys like that.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
When you said it, I automatically thought some other stuff, but okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's what you're saying? You make stuff like that?
No. He's saying that's the perception.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you use a 3D printer with that?
No, I get I can show you right here. So I have some of the figures. So it's in clay now. I send it to a guy in Denver, Colorado.
Okay.
And he sends it off to China and gets the mold made. And then this is the final result. I don't know if you can see it or not.
I can a little bit. It's a little bright, but that's
it's a vinyl figure.
Okay.
There we go, man. That's what's up, dude. I appreciate that. That's actually something great out here, especially having a toy company, especially for older adults. I mean, that's something beautiful.
All right. It's like collector's items.
Right.
Yeah, it's collector.
In your experience and what you've been through, because obviously I've seen your story and your testimony, and I think that's something that was very eye-opening for us, because especially you're about the third person that we've sat down with who's had one of these type of experiences. So How did that even happen? How did that begin? Or what's the backstory behind it?
At the time, I don't know how to say it without, I was just involved in the streets. I'll just say that. And so that's what was going on in my life at the time. I was about 17, I believe. So I was traveling in my car and I hit an intersection. I was alone. I passed through the intersection and some lady didn't stop and she plowed right into me. I seen it coming. I was looking behind me and I just braced for the impact. I felt it hit and my head hit the windshield. It went, I believe it went through the windshield. I didn't see. I was just told later. So upon the impact, I looked over my shoulder and my head hit the windshield. I remember everything turning white in color. Everything was just absent of color. It wasn't like everything was white, just everything lost color. And I was able to see for a couple seconds. After that happened, I immediately noticed I was what I perceived as underground. So I looked up and I saw stalactites and I saw stalactites or stalagmites right beside me. I looked down and I was at the edge of a cliff. I looked down at the bottom. It was way kind of far but I could recognize what was at the bottom in detail. So I saw a river of lava running through, and covering the whole ground was people who were being tortured by demons. And their demons were walking all over them, and their screams, just loud, glaring screams filled the room where I was at. I wasn't even a room, like a cave. That's what I perceived it to be.
Can you describe what the demons look like?
They were skinny, maybe, I guess you would say, sickly looking in the face. They were kind of rust color, olive color. And I noticed that they were pulling on arms and biting people and just walking over people. And every human down there, they couldn't do anything. They were just laying and screaming in pain. They couldn't sit up or stand up. They were just laying down.
How tall were the demons?
Just from my vantage point, I would say that they had to be taller than a regular person. They seemed taller, but they were pretty far down at the bottom. So I was kneeling at the cliff and I was watching all this, and then I looked to my left and I saw a leathered, or like I said in the video, it kind of looked like his skin was oily. It wasn't skin textured. It was like alive. It looked like oil. And he was real muscular, and he was tall as the ceiling. And he was real muscular, had a muscular build. I looked up to his face, and he had jagged, sharp teeth in his mouth. They were hanging out of his mouth. He had yellow eyes, and he had horns from the side of his head, real pointy horns that were curly. And I looked at him, and he said, "This is where you're going to be forever." He didn't say it with his mouth. I heard it in my mind. So after I heard that, I looked at myself, and I happened to notice that I was in my same clothing. So I had the same clothing I had on, and I just looked down, and I told God, I said, "God, please save me from this place." And after I said that, I was immediately took back into the ambulance, and I was being resuscitated in the ambulance.
That's where you're going to be forever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you think the man you were speaking with, do you think it was Lucifer?
I believe so.
Okay.
That's the thought that I had, is he was as big as he was, it kind of seemed like he had to be big to maybe control the other demons. That's what I later perceived down the road when I thought about it. But that's what I believe. I believe that it was him.
Why do you think he told you you're going to be here forever?
Just to say that I was going to be in hell.
Yeah. From everything you've done in your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
You didn't accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior.
So
you're going to be here. Yeah. If you would have died, you would have been there.
Now, before you got in that situation, were you a believer?
I knew about things, but it wasn't a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So my grandma told me about Catholicism at that point.
Okay, there we go. Grandma was.
And it really wasn't that much in detail. It was really repetitive when you go to church and you say the prayers a bunch of times, and it wasn't really anything that that I thought big about.
But
what about now?
In that point in time, it wasn't nothing you thought about that big or anything like that. But you knew this might be hell. Lord, save me. God.
Oh yeah.
So when you're back against the wall, you know who to call.
Help me out. So moving forward, I mean, I don't even want to move forward because I do want to stay.
Did you have any more experiences like dreams or anything after that?
After that.
Really? What are these dreams?
Yeah, give us a few of them.
Well, the dream that I told in the video that I made, I had a dream where it seemed like a war had happened or was going on. So I was in an apartment complex, and there was rubble around me, even in the room. And I remember the TV being on. I remember looking down and seeing, my arms and all that. And I don't know why I did that. But I remember going to the door, and there was Jesus at the door. He was wearing a white robe. He had curly hair. He had olive skin, but he was a red sash over his shoulder. I just remember him being real beautiful. And he told me to walk with him. So we walked down the street. And as we're looking up the street, there was clouds building. And he told me that there was going to be a war with the demons and the lizard people. And he said that the war is coming. And when people were coming to their porch and out by the street, and they were recognizing him and saying, there's Jesus, he's going to save us all. I remember that. I didn't say that in the story, but we walked all the way to the end of the street, and I saw the skeletons there were skeletons that were rising out of the soil. And there was a gate that was let loose, and the demons and the lizard people were in there. And he told me, after I saw that, he told me that it's not too late to change. And after that, I woke up.
Hold on, wait a minute. Before we go to that next story, what did the lizard people look like?
They had skinny bodies. You could see their ribs. They weren't green. They were black. But you could still tell that they had the face of a monitor lizard. They're real stout.
Okay.
Yeah. They looked strong, but also that's the perception that I had in the dream, is that it was the end of the world. And this was what was going on. This was the final battle for the humans, for their soul. That's what the perception that I got. Yeah, I am.
Okay. You've read the Bible before?
Yeah.
Okay.
You been baptized and everything?
No, not baptized.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Why not?
Yeah.
I don't go to church, or I kind of have issues with going to places like that nowadays.
Are you married?
No.
So
I have a girl.
You have a girlfriend?
Yeah.
You know, I was married. I had a girlfriend, and I praise the Lord to show me anything in my life that I'm doing wrong, you know, to expose it to me. Because, you know, I want to go to heaven. I want to go to heaven. So when I went to sleep that night, I had a dream that, just like somewhat like kind of like the dream you had, it was like an older lady came and sat on my bed. And as I'm watching TV, you know, while I'm asleep, the TV was on. And then the older lady looked back at me, and then my penis started to rise, and I started to lift up off the ground. And then I turned upside down. So there's a way of God showing me that by living in fornication, the devil still had control over me. You know, like the devil is like Magneto, and sin is like, you know, that's what he controls. So anybody that's still under sin, if it's in the Bible that you shouldn't do it, it's a sin. So therefore you give the devil the lead way in. So, you know, basically, you know, you got to go, you know, go and get married, brother.
And, you know, you were talking about earlier, I'm with you there, because I mean, I tried it all. I was deep into Hermeticism and the 7 Hermetic principles and all of that last year. And then halfway through the year, I started to realize, you know, the Quran, the Torah, everything I've read, everything I dug into, it all kept referencing the Bible. So I'm like, let me look into the Bible. And now today, I was baptized 2 weeks ago. I go to church now, but I was with you. I couldn't find a church that was, you know, anything I wanted to go. Now, I watched a few preachers online and a few people that, you know, ministers and stuff that I like, but they're always out of town somewhere, you know, or their, you know, fellowship churches are nowhere near me. And I finally found one. We go there now, but you know, the reason why I never got baptized, even after he got baptized, you got baptized twice, right?
Yeah. And when I didn't join the church. I just
he didn't join the church.
Now we're
baptized
we joined
into
the church. Yeah. Baptized.
And I told him, you know, we got another co-host, Myra. Myra kept telling me, like, you need to get baptized. You need to stop playing games, this and that. And I, you know, to be honest with you, I told her, I just didn't want to get baptized because I didn't want to get baptized. Then 4 or 5 days later, I'm back smoking cigarettes. I'm back hitting the blunts. You know, I was a huge cannabis connoisseur. Okay, not a cannabis smoker, not a weed smoker. I was a cannabis connoisseur. Okay,
back blowing somebody back out.
Yeah, I had plenty of connections. You know, and like you said, fornicating. Outside of my relationship, once I was single, you know, I'm free. I can get out here and, you know, do my thing. So all of that, and he's right. You know, the reason why I got baptized was because I was like, you know, It's either one way to go, you know.
Like and then you see the writing on the wall, man.
Yeah, coming to obviously I see the writing on the wall. It's coming to it. But, you know, I didn't want to be lukewarm when it happened. You know, Jesus talk about it, you know, he'd rather you to be cold, you know, be hot or cold. Either be holy or be unholy. Be holy, holy, or be holy, unholy. You know what I'm saying? Either raise hell or praise heaven. One of the two.
You can't be lukewarm. You spew you out.
Spew you out. So I was being lukewarm. I knew the word. I had the, I ain't gonna say I had the teaching. I'm still getting them, but I knew the word. I had a Bible. I had everything I needed, and I had found what I was looking for. I just still wanted to sin a little bit because, you know, giving up that weed, man, and giving up that drink, or giving up every other, you know, night music, to, you know, lay up with a woman, giving up, you know, giving up the latest gangster music that came out, everything like that. Changing my mindset, you know. A lot of people want to change their life to become rich and everything like that. And that's one thing. You have to create discipline for that. But to follow in the steps of Jesus, or to follow and try to be like.
Let me quote this scripture.
Go ahead.
Hebrews chapter 10, verse 26.
Get it.
For if we sin willfully after we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sin.
And that is me. So I was, you know, there was no more sacrifice for my sin. I had already wiped away what Jesus had done for me. So there was no point in me going back to that. 2 weeks clean, nothing, no thing. It's still an everyday struggle, but I fight that. Anytime I struggle, I go to him because he gonna help me with that struggle. Because I'm, you know, he know what I'm doing. He know why I do it and what I'm doing. And that's when I encourage, you know, not just you, but all people to pay attention to. You can play with God and say you believe in God and everything like that. Not saying you, but you know, you can do all of that. But unless you are dedicating your life to it, far as when
deny yourself, that's what God said.
Deny yourself, as you said, deny yourself. Be willing to learn, even if it comes from a younger person or an older person. You have to be susceptible to be able to accept information, however it comes. You know, you have to be able to deal with certain situations in a certain aspect. There's times where you can be angry, and there's times where your anger doesn't call for it. Sometimes we jump the gun with our anger. And I tell people all the time, if you're just frustrated and you try to do anything, you're just going to make yourself even frustrated.
And to help you mad in your situation, I don't, you know, but if you still with your girlfriend, you know, go ahead, marry her, man. Or deny yourself. Don't have no more sex.
Yeah.
You've read the Bible, so you've already know Jesus. You already know his scriptures. So you know his likes and dislikes. You know how he destroyed the whole countries, whole city, wiped them out.
Wiped the world out.
What we don't want to ask for is excuse. We don't want to present God with the excuse. Like if you died today, you're going to have to use the excuse. You know, you're going to have to say, you know, I know I wasn't supposed to be fornicating, God. You know,
God don't
you got to truly love him. If you really love him, if you really love him, you will try to do as, babe, we got to get married today. That's what I told my wife. We got to get married immediately. Once I learned that God, you know, God don't like fornication, I felt convicted in my heart. And I knew that God was real because of my supernatural experience. I knew he was real for 100% certainty. Just like you, I cannot live in sin because I'm not for sure. No man knows the day of the hour. So therefore, I cannot say I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. I'm gonna wait till the next. I'm gonna wait till next week because that would say that I know when God is going to come back. I don't know. So therefore, babe, we got to get married immediately because I don't want to live in sin. Yeah. So it's not for you, even though she might not be a believer like I am. It's for me. I'm not trying to go to hell. You seen hell. You seen the devil and stuff.
We ain't trying to go down there and hang out.
You know. Man. Yeah. It's not worth the risk, brother.
Now I want to spend my eternity, you know.
It's not worth the risk.
And, you know, like you said, another thing, you know, you can't, like we said, you can't play with it. You got to be holy. Get on it. Like there's no, I'm going to do it tomorrow. There is no tomorrow because as they say, you don't even know if you're going to make it through the night. I tell people all the time, stop waking up in the morning, thanking God for waking you up, going to sleep at night, thanking God for letting you go to bed when God gave you breath every second of the day. So find some point in time throughout your day to give thanks to him. That's all he wants us to do anyway. Give thanks to him. He's given us a chance to live. So give thanks to him. If it was up to the devil, we'd all be dead.
Yeah.
It's a reason why we're here. That's why abortion and everything we talked about earlier is so real. He's giving you a chance. How dare they take that chance that he gave you? But the dangerous gift he ever gave to man, I tell people all the time, man and woman, you know, everyone in this world was free will. We got the power to sin. We got the power to live right.
Yeah.
We got the power to, do crime, or we got the power to,
He told you don't eat the apple. You had the power to eat the apple if you wanted.
We got the power to indulge in the black magic and the knowledge, tree of good and evil, or we got the chance, we got the opportunity to go other ways. We have a chance to do whatever we want to do. A lot of motivational speakers will say, oh, whatever point you're at in your life, or wherever you find yourself at, situation, anything like that, you put yourself there. So it's up to you to get yourself out. That's true, but that's also again, that they're talking about when it comes to it. When it all comes down to it, God ain't accepting no excuses. So when you get to him, you can't tell him I was going to do it, but there is no but. You had time to do it. He going to give you all the time in the world. A lot of people say they don't know what's going to happen to them after they die. I know what happens to you after you die. You put on your best birthday suit and go before court in the hearing of the Holy Spirit and Jesus Christ and God himself. And he want to talk to you about what you've done. You're going to go in court in heaven in front of all the angels and God, and he want to talk about what you've done in your life. Have you done the things right? And is it your chance to make the cut? What you going to say on your court date? That's what I ask most people. What you going to say on your court date? Because there is no buts. He got all the film. He got all the footage. He got everything you ever did in your life. How you going to lie to him?
Right.
Yeah.
So that's just what it is. But I appreciate you coming on here and giving us your story, giving us your testimony. I'm super happy to hear it and know that you're living a different life now. That's rough, and it takes a lot to do that. And that's what I'll be talking about, brother. If you can do all of that and switch your life and become who you are today, you dang sure can give yourself to Jesus. That's a fact. You got it in you. That's no doubt. You got it in you. So
all right,
I appreciate that.
And one more thing.
Do you have any
Jesus in the dream?
Yeah,
I want to say he had hair like wool and skin like bronze, as if it was burnt in a fiery furnace. So,
born in the house of Judah,
out the tribe of Judah. So I don't know if he was olive, but I respect it. I like the dream.
He had a darker tone.
Yeah. Okay. Well, say that. Olive looked a little bright. Yeah. That's different.
Because a lot of people associate the devil with horns and everything like that. I'm here to tell people that's not the truth. You go in the book of Genesis, it tells you exactly what the devil looked like. He was beautiful. He ain't have no horns. Beautiful. Ain't nothing beautiful about no horns. When you see the devil, you like, ooh.
He got different looks.
Yeah, he got. He can do what
just
he
like the fallen angels. They could look like human beings and stuff like that.
You know about the fallen angels, brother?
Yeah,
just like in Genesis.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
If they was having sex with people, they ain't look hideous now.
Yeah, Sarah Maj. Well, Sarah Maj wasn't on it, but eventually they talked him into it. He got down here and they got busy. 200.
I just think in general, people are given different things to see.
Yeah.
And whatever you might see is for you to use in life and to tell other people, and that will affect people in certain ways other things can't. So that's why I believe that's what he allowed me to see.
I think to end it, please, man, try to check out some churches, bro. I know more of
just to speak on that, the only problem that I have with churches, or that I've had, is that it's just not the way that it should be. That a lot of churches are wrapped up in the profit. I believe, like you were saying, is that we should follow Jesus and be like him, absolute. So if you were to, it's just in my opinion, to function like he did, I don't think there would be churches based on profit. Jesus didn't have anything like that.
Right, correct. All of sin and falling short. So of course, there's going to be some churches out here that the person that's a sinful, guy,
not some,
a lot, he just want and he just want profit.
Yeah,
but that's why it's a lot of churches around you. I'm pretty sure. So you just have to find your right home.
Yeah,
but I think the church house is something to get into, because it's a communion of, it's a community of people that's following Jesus Christ. So it can maybe strengthen you in your faith to look at someone else and the way they live in their life, and then they can help you in a way of, because I'm pretty sure even though you've read the Bible, you don't know everything about the Lord. You still sin, you still make mistakes. So it's all about being around people that's trying or to do the same thing you're doing, and it can better you and your the way you follow Jesus Christ. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a family.
Then it's something to take your kids to. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to you want to raise them up to follow Christ, to be around people that love God. So then they can have, they can have that standard.
And that,
so that's what you.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't have anyone around me that's like that. So,
like, you know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you saying this.
Right. They were just gonna tell you, like, yo, you need to get married. You know, I understand you're in church and you say that you're a follower, you know, but you still living in sin.
And that's the point of being followers of Christ. Followers, ERS. There's a community of us, a whole family of us out here. We are all God's children, obviously, but some of us are doing more than others to strive to be closer to him. And the ones that are, you usually find, like you said, in church. Right. Church is a family outside of family.
Right now, I feel like we're family, man. You believe in Jesus Christ. You're my brother. Yeah, that's all it is, bro.
Yeah, man.
Thank you so
we
much.
Appreciate you coming out.
Thank you for having me.